Right now, that pretty much should be it, right? We're actually live right now. What is up, chat? What is up, Mr. Ray?
What's up, boys?
Mr. SilverFox too as well in the house. How you doing tonight, Fox?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well, dude. And I really just want to say thank you too for being open to coming on with us with this special evening edition of Tool of the Trade. Most of the time we're like in the morning, you know.
Absolutely, man. I'm happy to be here. I really appreciate the invite.
Yeah. So Ray, where are you at right now? Because like something's wrong with your camera.
Dude, I'm in Maryland. I'm telling you what I'm doing right now. I'm driving around trying to find jobless.
I'm trying to find jobless. Are you really? Is that what you're doing? Serious?
It might be a little bit easier during the day, just so you know.
It could be. It's very actually. I'm about 2 hours away from where jobless is. But yes, jobless and I share.
Tell him to smile.
I'll turn my high beams on.
All right. And, now,
smile reflect.
Yeah, GI Jesus says, is that not Ray? That is Ray, GI. 100% it is. What's going on, Bright Gaming? Good to see everybody tonight. Hopefully you guys are having a good Saturday night. And so, you know, one of the things that we do here in Fox, I don't know if you've watched the show or not, because I know you're a busy man. Fox has basically got his hand in a lot of different things. But tell a little bit about yourself to people that aren't familiar with who SilverFox is. You know, where did you come from? Kind of, you know, how you got started in your creation journey.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, big question. We'll be here all night. Go ahead.
No, you know, I'm used to streaming with Grim and he talks over me. So every time I talk, I feel like I'm on a timer. So I got to realize I'm talking to somebody that can actually just listen for a second so I can just breathe. So anyways, I started streaming on YouTube back in 2022, I think. And that lasted about a year. And I'm going to kind of, I'll lead it. I'll make it kind of a short story, but I'll tell you guys what led me to Rumble. I started streaming on YouTube and I started out playing Warzone. And then I realized within like the first week, I'd rather eat my own junk off than play Warzone every day. So I started playing other games that I'd never played before. I played Fallout 4 for the first time. I played Red Dead 2 for the first time. And I was getting a lot of traction, dude. I got like 1,000 followers in like the first like 6 months. I was averaging 10 or 15 new followers every single stream. Like I was picking up a lot of momentum. And the day that I got monetized on YouTube, you guys may know this, but on YouTube, in order to get monetized, you have to have 1,000 followers and 4,000 watch hours. And I got that within like 6 months or something. I don't remember. It could be a month.
That's like legit unbelievable.
It was
like, dude, that's super fast.
Yeah, it was going really well. And I shit you guys not, that the day I got monetized, so okay, let me back up a tiny bit. So what happens whenever you get eligible for monetization, your channel goes into a manual review where a live human being has to go look at your channel, make sure you're not breaking any TOS or all that. The day, not the day after, not a week later, the day my channel got accepted into their creator program, my channel hit a brick wall. The day I got monetized, I would go from averaging 10 or 15, 20 followers a day down to I would maybe one a month if I was lucky. Sometimes I would lose one. It wasn't like a gradual fall off, like something changed. I'm telling you guys, it hit a brick wall the day I got monetized. And then I noticed all my live streams, like I would be 10 minutes into a live stream doing nothing, and my stream was already not eligible for monetization, that little yellow thing where you're not eligible.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just started getting like crabby on stream. I'm like I feel like I'm wasting my time here. So I that went on for about another 6 months or so. And in December of 2022, I said, I either got to find somewhere else to do this or I'm out. I'm not going to waste my time doing this. So I was like, you know what? I heard, maybe it was, I don't know, somebody else. I'm not sure how I heard Rumble initially. I was like, you know, I'll try Rumble. And this was back when Rumble was not good for gaming. It was
I remember that.
Terrible for gaming. But
Yep.
I went to Rumble anyway. And I've had very similar success on Rumble that I had YouTube. You know, the growth was relatively rapid for a nobody. And that's that. I came to Rumble literally because YouTube, they're a horrible company that
100%.
that treats creators like dog shit. So I came to Rumble, and the rest is history. I've been causing trouble over here ever since the beginning of 2023.
Yeah, which is crazy because I found you, I think in March. I mean, you were still like only 700 or 800 followers, I think, when I first started coming over to your streams.
Yeah.
And it's my story with YouTube was very similar too as well. It was, luckily, like we were friends with somebody that actually worked in YouTube, but the way they kind of handled the gaming portion of the website, it was totally confusing because they had regular YouTube and then they had gaming YouTube. And even though you could see both on the main site, there were actually two separate sites. And so it made it like super difficult. I mean, we got partnered on YouTube, I think in like 3 months.
Oh, wow.
We had a whole bunch, we had a huge explosion of a following. We were doing Destiny at the time.
Wow. That's amazing.
And that was kind of like, right around the time that Ad Apocalypse happened and they started changing some of the requirements and all the other kind of stuff going on the platform too.
Sure.
But I saw that the whole thing with like Alex Jones, love him or hate him, doesn't really matter. That, if a platform could just ban someone like that for whatever particular reason, that it was in very dangerous territory. And it's kind of amazing to kind of see it now, looking back years later. I mean, that was what, like 2017 or 2018 or something like that, not too long ago.
Yeah.
And there's so many stories like yours where people come on, they grind really hard, they're putting out great content, and then all of a sudden you just kind of like fall off. Was it kind of like a huge shock to you? I mean, how did you kind of handle it?
It was not well. I started, I was crabby every day on stream because, dude, I was putting in a lot of effort and I thought everything was going really well. And I'm like, dude, I think in a couple of years, I really thought I was going to be one of those guys that just kind of ascended. And by the way, part of that's my fault, expectations, but I really, listen, I can't prove this, obviously, and there's no way to go back and retroactively prove this. I think I'll watch my language on your platform. I think some human being of a certain political persuasion saw me, a kind of conservative white man, and said, nope. Yeah. That's what I think happened. I swear to God, that's what I think happened. And so yeah, I did not handle it well, man. I started getting more moody on streaming, or when I was streaming, and so it just kind of spiraled the wrong way. and there was zero growth for like the next 6 months. So I was like, I'm out.
Dude, that's crazy.
Never look back. Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm jealous of listening both to you guys talk about how fast you grew on YouTube. I grinded that freaking platform for years and never did anything. I capped out at like 120 people after 4 years. So good on both of you. Apparently nothing. Apparently not any of the right
What were you attempting to do?
I was going live playing PUBG. Same thing I did on Rumble. Okay. It just didn't work. Gotcha. Like it just didn't work at all. It's funny though. Like I'm like 7-8 months into my Rumble journey, and we've talked about that in the past before. But one of the things I've not talked in the past about, I don't even think I've actually shared this with you, Fox. When I started lurking Rumble, after I met Lumpy at the creator program for Gray Zone Warfare that he and I were both doing. Like, you are one of the first streams I ever watched as I was lurking on Rumble. So, like, I learned a lot in the shadows for the week or two before I went live watching SilverFox. So I'm stoked to hear, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, I don't have anything to add to that. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, but maybe stop.
Well, you know, I mean, it's weird because, you know, you are one of the faces that, or one of the first faces that a lot of people see that have come to Rumble, right?
Yeah.
Myself included. Lumpy was actually the first, then you, and then X Bless. And between the three of you guys convinced me to give Rumble another shot. And so that's what I did. And I've been here ever since now as a result of that. But
you know, I think some people come to Rumble and they think because it's a much smaller platform that somehow it's going to be easier.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. People are people. It doesn't matter if they're watching on Rumble or if they're watching on YouTube or Twitch. It doesn't matter. You still have to put in the same amount of effort. You still have to make good thumbnails. You still have to make good titles. You still, when they click on your channel, there's still got to be at least enough energy for them to be interested in sticking around for a few seconds, and then maybe they'll stick around for a few more seconds, and then maybe they'll chat. But all that takes like real conscious effort. You can't. I feel like people have this misconception that Rumble is just a small community that somehow it's going to be easier to grow, and it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they kind of, I mean, you know, and truth be told, I feel like the Rumble community is different in the aspect that we're more like a family here.
That's true.
You know, so, you know, whenever, and that was kind of like my thing, because I got burnt by being on the purple dragon, right? I'm still a partner over there, even though they just got done telling me that they're changing the payout structure, all that other kind of stuff, which is fine. I don't feel like streaming there, like at all. They can kind of keep it. Went to Odyssey. That kind of felt like a lot of that was kind of like a niche. You know, I almost worked with those guys too as well. And then when I came to Rumble, it felt better. Like you walked in, everybody was like happy to see you. When I did my first stream, I think some guy came in and said, "Hey, welcome to Rumble. Really great to have you here." All this other kind of stuff. And so it made it feel very, you know, welcoming and very warm compared to like if you go to YouTube or something like that. I've talked in people's chats and they're just like, you know, maybe you're going to send 4 or 5 messages before maybe they'll say something to you. And then if they do, it's like one word blurb, you know?
Yeah.
And so like, and here's is different.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the people really, even the viewers or streamers, if anybody watches this now or later on, understand this, that what Rumble has as far as the community of streamers that are kind of all rooting for each other does not exist anywhere else, as far as I know. It for sure as hell doesn't exist on YouTube. There were like a couple of streamers that are around my size that I tried to have like, because that was like when I actually started streaming so I got raided yesterday by Doc, which was crazy.
Congrats on that too.
Oh, thank you. And the reason that was kind of a big deal. Yeah. The reason that was kind of a big deal was because I started streaming partly because of Doc. Back before 2022, I had never thought about streaming. I never considered it. I'm not an online guy. You know, I do all my stuff offline. And I never even heard of Dr. Disrespect before he got banned by Twitch. So he was on YouTube every day. And that's back when Warzone was starting to take off. So I was kind of, you know, looking at Warzone videos, and then of course Doc pops up, and then I started watching him, and then it looked like so much fun. So I was like, you know, I want to do this. So that's I started playing Warzone. Then I realized I hate Warzone. But anyways, but my point is, during that first like 6 months or so, when everything was on the going up, there were other streamers that were starting to pop in my chat as well, and I tried to get that kind of thing going with them, because that's back when Doc was playing with Tim, and I'm like, I saw that early on. Like, you need that kind of collaboration where you can find people to really have fun with, because you can play games solo, and if that works, if you're really good or you're really interesting. But in the gaming space, if you can find buddies to play with and you guys are having a good rapport and all that, it's a lot of fun. That's how you get people excited to want to keep watching you. And I couldn't get anybody into it, man. I couldn't get anybody to like engage and really want to do that. I couldn't understand that. Well, everybody was very just disengaged from anybody else. They were worried about themselves, but no one was really looking to do what Doc and Tim do.
Yeah, but I mean, to your point, Fox. So like that's gaming culture across every platform, from Facebook, if you want to consider Facebook as a gaming platform anymore, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I mean, they all have that It's all about me. It's only me. I will only collaborate with people that I feel like are going to grab me and pull me up and make me better and let me be seen. There is not a lot of true collaboration in this space. And I think that's one of the uniquenesses that we have here in our community. The point that you're making is that, like, I mean, whether it's Grim or you, I mean, all of us have collaborated with all of us in some way, shape, or form. And it's very selfless in that way comparatively.
And he muted himself.
Uh-oh.
Did you? I think he dropped.
No, I muted myself. I finished my thought.
Okay. Oh, did you? Oh.
Yeah,
I mute myself so you don't hear my car.
Oh, okay. No, you're right, man. And it's awesome. You know, look, I've come across people on Rumble that definitely would sell their grandma for a nickel for fame. But most people, and I met a lot of them. I met Aaron there. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Ray there. And not PAX East. Which one was it? The one down in Atlanta. Where we just went there. DreamHack.
DreamHack, yes.
Oh, DreamHack, when the government shut down.
Yeah.
So I met a lot of people there, and they're genuine people, man. They're genuine people, most of them. And yeah, it's one of my favorite things. I have found, I will say though, I found myself over the last couple of months, like shrinking my circle down even further. And not for any like selfish reason or uppity reason. I don't know. I'm a very small circle guy.
Well, you know, I mean, I have done, I think we did one collab together, right? I think Elden Ring back in the day.
Oh, we did that co-op mod.
Yeah, that co-op mod deal. And then of course everything just got busy, and of course, you know, he is a busy guy. So most of the time, like for myself, like I'll ask once or twice, and if not, and just too much, then it's like, okay, we'll just plan it for another time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you guys are out there wanting to, you know, like co-stream or do a collab, you know, and maybe the other person's too busy, try not to take it too personal, you know. And I know, because Fox has said, like, you know, time and time again, it's like, well, a lot of time I'm not, you know, he's not a night streamer. He does it all day long. And, you know, sometimes schedules just kind of conflict, you know.
Well,
I mean,
and my thing is, and sorry to cut you off.
It's okay.
My thing is that I have a bad habit of spreading myself too thin, and I work a lot better when there's less moving parts, and I tend to spread myself too thin. So, you know, I try to have like one or two things that I'm doing and just put a lot of effort into those. And, you know, I don't know. I've learned that sometimes you just got to politely just say no. And it sucks at first because you feel like an asshole. And I've never told anybody no to be an asshole. It's literally just like, I stream all day. I kind of have my thing. And this is kind of a little side note, but whenever the reason I prefer to play solo 90% of the time is because I'm the kind of streamer, I have to have my chat. Like, I don't like streaming. Like, I love talking on my chat. And when you're collabing with people, it's a lot harder to engage in your chat. So I don't know. I'm kind of a loner in that way. I'm not saying it's the right way to do it. That's just the kind of the way I roll, I guess.
No, and I think to each their own. I mean, and there is that sense that when you do a collab, that it's kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
It's hard. You know, you have, I don't know what it is about on Rumble, and not all streamers do it. So I'm not calling you out, Ray, but whenever you're streaming with people, sometimes doing a collab, sometimes they kind of tend to talk over you to talk to their chat sometimes.
Oh, I'm the worst. Don't ever collab with me. It's terrible.
Dude. I think I tweeted about this a while back, like the like streamer etiquette. Dude.
It's like it's missing here on Rumble. 100% is.
You absolutely tweeted about it, and I called text, and I was like, I think SilverFox just tweeted about me.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd even collabed at that point, did I? Like,
I don't know.
Oh no. I won't say who it was about, but there's people that you play with, and they get like, you can't even engage with your own chat because they're screaming over you about everything that's going. I'm like, my man, Discord has a mute button. Like, for the love of God, just have a little bit of self-awareness. Just a little bit of self-awareness. Yeah,
exactly. That's what you know, try to, like, I have it right here on my stream deck, and I can't pull up to my camera, but if I wanted to go ahead and deafen and mute myself, I just press that button and it's good, you know. I think that, you know, we have to realize, and especially people that maybe don't have the streamer etiquette, when you guys do collabs and stuff like that, collabs are fun and they're great. You can do a lot of amazing games and have a great time. Like I was doing all the damage. We were doing our Elden Ring run. So of course, I was pulling aggro all the time. I was dying all the time because, Fox is supposed to be like the guardian here, protecting the damage guy.
You can only hurt. You can only help so much, Aaron. Like
that
was this dude was playing as a wizard and refused to have any HP. The dude was dying every time he got touched.
That's right. Glass cannon, dude. They fart on me. I just freaking shatter instantly. It was crazy.
No, GI. That was Night Rain. This is before you even came along. We were playing the actual Elden Ring game. It was me, you, and who else?
Razio.
Oh, that's right, Razio. Yep.
Razio. Yeah, I haven't seen. Is he still streaming right now? I haven't seen Razio.
Man. He's just kind of tucked away in his little spot over there, doing his thing.
Yeah, because he's a great guy too as well. I mean, there's so many awesome different content creators here on the platform to be able to do stuff with, and so
yeah,
But anyway, all that to say, like if you guys do collabs with people, they can be absolutely fantastic. Try to use some streamer etiquette. Be polite. Don't try to talk over them. And just try to have fun.
Yeah, just realize that they have a community too that they're trying to engage with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be better, Tex, I promise.
Yeah, I know you're fine, Ray. I just mute you now. I'm just like I'm done.
The deafened is a pretty awesome feature. Sometimes you have to just there's 3 people talking on the other end, you gotta bleep so you can talk to your chat for a second.
Yeah. So how, and for your, whole thing, because, you're looking for the collab kind of stuff, which makes things a lot of fun. And the players that you have, because you've done a lot of stuff with Pep Killa, for example, too, as well. You're now doing stuff a lot with Grim Hollywood, who Grim's an absolute blast.
Yeah.
He is a character in and of himself.
Yeah.
Did you ever see yourself kind of like where you're at? I mean, do you want to do like a lot more collabs going forward now that you're kind of doing, your podcast? What do you guys call your podcast? I forget the title of it.
Golden Years.
Golden Year, which is great, by the way.
Yeah.
But
that was all him. Like that was his, the name. He came up with the branding for that.
Yeah. He's absolutely brilliant in what he does. I consider how much production value and stuff he puts into his stream, almost right up there with the doc, almost.
Yeah, he's good, man. When he in his just chatting screen, he has like an actual, I don't know, like RV or something behind.
Yeah, exactly.
He's sitting in. Yeah, he puts a lot of effort into it, man. Yeah, he's yeah, and we're becoming pretty good friends behind the scenes too, which is really nice. It's nice to have like somebody that you kind of build that rapport with, you become actual friends. So when you play together, I think that shows, man. Every time we do a collab, people seem to enjoy it. So.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of important. I mean, do you find yourself like enjoying more like talk shows, doing that kind of thing, or is gaming still kind of like your, where your heart's at right now?
Gaming is very hit or miss for me, man, because I guess I'm kind of a picky gamer. I mean, there's a lot of game like I played 2,000 hours of Elden Ring in like 2 years, and that was with me playing a lot of other games. I could have doubled that if I was only playing Elden Ring, but there's like a few games that are so good that I just get obsessed with them, but everything else is just like shit. Like there's so many bad games out there, especially like newer games are just terrible. Most of them. So you know what? I've actually been kind of considering going like here lately, and I don't think I'm going to do this, but I kind of like what Asmongold has going on, and I've kind of thought. I'm not sure if you're aware of his content over the last couple of years, but it's been a little bit of gaming, but mostly just reacting to current events all day, which is almost like a cheat code for content,
Yeah.
And I've actually considered going that route sometimes because I just get so bored with gaming. I still love Arc Raiders. I missed the expedition window, so I was maxed out with nothing to do, so I got bored with that. Yeah, man. Gaming's very like I'll go through like a couple of weeks where I'm having a lot of fun gaming, and then I'll wake up, and then there's some days where I'm just like, I don't want to play games at all. Like gaming is very, very boring.
Yeah.
Fox was going to ask you pre-show, but I couldn't hear you. Are you going to be running marathon during the server slam this week? Because we got to hook that up.
Yeah. Am I going to be running marathon? I'm going to be honest. That game has not piqued my interest, and I'm not one to hope a game fails. I'm a gamer at heart. I hope every game does well. Maybe I'm being a little bit of a hater because I think the art style is atrocious, but I hope that the game does well. I genuinely hope that game does way better than I hope, because I love competition. I love games, and anybody who wants it to be good. I know Helmet was in here earlier. I know he's really hoping that game is good.
Helmet is all about
Helmet sold out on that game already. It hasn't even released yet.
He is putting all of his eggs in that game. Is all the way. It's wild.
Yeah,
but you know what?
Yeah, but I mean, I'll be honest
did that with Elden.
He's the only reason I'm checking it out. Like legitimately, if it wasn't for Helmet Fire, I wouldn't be considering it. But I do feel like I have a little bit of like a parachute here, like an emergency eject button, because if this server slam is terrible, I'm just canceling my pre-order. Like that's 100% happening.
You pre-ordered Marathon
because of Helmet Fire. Yeah,
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, Helmet. I hope you're making some money off that, bro. Hope you're making some money off that. But yeah, it's kind of weird, like, because there are days where I get very bored with gaming too. Like I get into these kind of like, lulls, and that's why sometimes I'm glad I kind of have coding to fall back on. Like if you guys go back and look at some of my last streams, I just did nothing but coding and just music and just talking to chat. Usually the streams where you sit down and you're talking to the community just go so much better, and they feel so much better,
Yeah.
And so I love the fact that I've been watching you play through Dead Space. Now, is that your first playthrough of that, or have you played that? You played it before, right?
I played Dead Space one other time back in 2023, I think, when the remake. I never played the original. I played it when the remake came out, I think in 2023. So I had that one experience with it. But the good news is, since I'd only played it once, I didn't really remember a whole lot about it. So, and plus, I'm playing all the games this month on max difficulty, so that kind of added an extra layer of tension to it. But no, Dead Space is great. The atmosphere of that game, the game is so well made. It's like a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Oh yeah, 100%. The Dead Space series is one of my favorites. Now, if you get to Dead Space 3, it's not all that great.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Dead Space 2 is really good too, as well. The atmosphere in that one.
That one too. Yeah. I don't remember it, but yeah, I've beat it.
Well, because I mean, you get into like you're in this like ring kind of a deal, floating up into space, and you get like into like where they're having children and everything else. And you kind of hear that whole atmosphere of children crying, and I don't know. If you guys haven't played Dead Space, it's you guys.
Isn't Dead Space 2 the last boss? Isn't that the one with all the little babies and crap coming after you, or some bunch of little creatures? It's like on that platform out in space kind of look to it. I can't remember.
I believe so.
While,
yes.
But
yes, I think so.
I thought that last boss was kind of goofy, but yeah, it's I think it's like, that game for me is like an 8 out of 10. It's still really good. But I think the original Dead Space, especially the remake, is it's so good, dude. I'm surprised that they did as well as they did with the remake. I had high hopes for that. But I kind of like, because everybody goes like, oh yeah, we did a remake, and you see some of the remakes coming out and they're like renaming characters, or instead of making like 2 genders, now they're including 45 genders, all that other kind of crap. And you're like, really? I mean, do we have to, men can't have babies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to throw that out there. Men can't have babies. Okay. What a bigot. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, I know. Right. It's just
clip that.
Yeah, somebody probably will. But all that to say, it's really good to see, hopefully, that stuff like Dead Space does exist, and we can kind of get back to kind of the core of gaming, which should be about the story, the playthrough, kind of the way that it makes you kind of feel, and kind of the combat style.
The thing that I'll tell you, the most frustrating thing for me with modern gaming is technology wise, we should be living through the golden age of gaming.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, with all the tools available with graphics and shadowing and all the global illumination, and just everything at their disposal to create a video game is being wasted on developers who are way more worried about all the stuff that has nothing to do with making a good game. And they're obsessed with quotas, and I don't want to make this all like political and stuff, so I won't. But it's just such a shame, man. And I hope the gaming industry can get it. I've said this to my chat, more than a few times. I miss the days 20 years ago, 30 years ago, back in the 90s and early 2000s, when it was nerds making video games. I'm talking, and I don't want to make it racial, but white nerds making video games. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like we can't also like not make it political, because the point that you're making is a political point. Like the things they're worried about are not just quotas. They're worried about whatever their political beliefs are and shoving that into games and making their platform be what the game is built around. I mean, like, and to exactly what you're talking about, Phil Spencer steps down from Xbox, and they picked the most random.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand what's happening at Xbox right now. And so, like, gaming is being choked out by people who don't care about gaming for the sake of the experience or the art style or the community or any of those things. It's business people that are more concerned about making a statement, filling their books, DEI experience, and standing out from what this community has been built on. I mean, you look at the things that are happening in games like Call of Duty. I know that you're not a Call of Duty fan, but when you look at the skins in Call of Duty, when in June every year Call of Duty releases 600 new LGBTQ gun skins, who in the Call of Duty community is asking for that? Like, it's
Nobody.
not the gamers. It's not us. You look at a game like Concord, right? And it's been well documented at the politics and the failed philosophies behind Concord. But even if you look at the character models, 90% of first-person shooter gamers are Chads. Like, they're alpha male, like, and you've built a game for, like, every character is, like, some horrifically represented caricature of a D, and, like,
making them ugly and fat.
Yeah, like no one that plays video games, or they're not asking for that. So, like, I think that what we're saying is, like, these gaming companies, these developers, these producers, these studios, they're all shutting down and dying because they're pushing their agenda as opposed to pushing out quality content.
Dude, even women, unless you're just an insane, like, leftist, let's call it what it is. Even regular gaming women, just everyday women, prefer hot women in games. Nobody wants ugly people in video games. I'm sorry, that's just,
Well, I mean, that's why, like, whenever they do advertising and stuff, it's always people that look good. That's why you're never going to see me on an advertisement, just because. I'm just throwing that out there.
Dude, you wouldn't even see me on advertising. Like, I don't even look good enough to be like, I want to see.
Now Ray does. Look at his face. Was it over there?
My camera's frozen though.
That's okay. Look at that beautiful face right there. See that smile? Like that. Oh yeah.
I saw another game skin that I forget which game they were. It doesn't even matter. They were showing this new skin for a new game, and the girl was turned sideways. Dude, you could draw. I swear to God, you could draw a straight line from her back down to her legs. Zero curves. Just nothing, no boobs, no butt. And look, I don't need her to look like Cardi B, but come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the problem is they go out of their way. They go out of their way to make sure that there's nothing about them that you could find attractive. They do that. They do that on purpose because they don't want men gooning over girls, but and they don't want to sexualizing them. But I have news for you. That's how you sell video games, boys and girls.
Well, dude, not like that. I mean, look at what happened with Star Wars. What is it, Outlaw or whatever it was? Now, I did get it on sale for like $10. That's that one with the bounty hunter one. Yeah. They like one of the newest ones that just came out, and I forget the name of it. I haven't even played it yet.
It's called Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, Star Wars. So the character and the actress that's behind that character, they purposefully made it look uglier than the character herself. And they're like, well, that's all we could do. And then everybody started showing comparisons of the way that actors look to their character.
Exactly.
And
they go out of their way to make him uglier. Like,
it's wild.
Yeah, it's feminist. It's just what it is. It's women that are ugly. They don't want pretty girls. They don't want to give anything. They don't want men to find the women attractive in the game. They don't want us to find them attractive. They're trying to feminize everything. Dude, I watched a trailer this earlier today, actually. I don't know if it's a game that's already out or a game they're on the way to coming out. It's a new Incredible Hulk game. It has a Hulk and he's smashing stuff around, and all the little explosions in the game are like pink and purple and baby blue. It's like, dude, they're making everything gay. And by the way, it's not an accident. This feminization of gaming is the same thing. I mean, look at our movie stars from the 80s and 90s and look at them now. I mean, they're all, it's just like they're all metrosexual now. They used to be like big and muscular and badass. None of this is on accident. The feminization of men is 100% on purpose.
Yep.
And dude, I've said this for a while now. I wish I had FU money. I would start a studio tomorrow and have at least one studio, because there's a lot of Asian developers that are not doing that and making girls attractive and making badass games. But I mean, where are the American companies that are making badass 4 guys video games? With great stories that are taking chances, with gruesome scenes and just, great writing and just making things like
work.
And just making games like it's a passion project. Me and Grim Hollywood, cut me off anytime you want. Me and Grim Hollywood are every Wednesday we're doing this. We're playing every Halo from number 1 through all the campaigns on Legendary. And right now we're in the middle of Halo 2. And I've never played the Halo 2 campaign till now. And dude, I'm not sure what year that came out originally, but you can just tell, man, the cutscenes and just that game is incredible. And you can tell these were nerds making this game 20 years ago.
Well, and I think a lot of that kind of stems from, and I'm going to get to what Helmet Fire said in chat too, as well, which I think is an important point. That, during those times, it was more of a passion for the craft and a love for the craft and wanting
100%.
to kind of create great atmospheres and great gameplay and great characters that, we all looked up to and wanted to be like, right? That were big and buff and beautiful people. And nowadays you just don't have that. It's just kind of crazy. I mean, Helmet Fire says, good news is tons of Asian developers and publishers are pulling the money away from Western studios. Western studios are losing the money. 100%, Helmet. 100%. And that's why.
But that could change. I mean, it's only happening because of the way they're running the studios. If somebody who had balls and the right vision could absolutely create a studio here in America and make games for Americans that have American culture in the games. And look, I'm going to be honest. I think I'm glad Asians are making games and they're not making games all woke. I am grateful for that, or we would have nothing. But I'm getting sick and tired of all the Asian aesthetic to all of the games that we're getting now. Like all the Souls-likes. There's so many games it's a bunch of Asian buildings and Asian aesthetic and Asian names. I'm tired of it. Like I want some white, I don't care what anybody thinks of this. I want white, badass, male protagonists doing badass things in games made for Americans by Americans. Like somebody has to do it.
Well, I think, people have to realize that all the stuff that we're getting now in games have been in development for like the last 3 or 4 years. You can't just today be like, I'm going to create, even though technically you now with the invention of AI cuts that dramatically, makes it very, very quick. That's okay. No, what happened? Oh. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. My wife just came in here. Anyway, so all the games that we're getting out now that are kind of coming out, like Honor Guard and all that other kind of stuff. That was in the plans for like the last 3 or 4 years. So you're going to have all that woke writing was at the time when Biden was in office. So we have to kind of including in Hollywood, right? So we have to let that stuff kind of churn out because now as everybody's losing money, the focus is going to basically shift back to hopefully, I'm hoping, to good writing and, the hell with the woke stuff. There might be some stuff, but it's not going to be as prevalent, I don't think, as before because it's just not worth the gamble for them.
Well, and I'll say this too, and this is hopium. I have no evidence for what I'm about to say, but I have a sneaking suspicion that the reason GTA 6 delayed their game by a year is because there was a massive cultural, I would say, shift. It kind of started to happen before Trump won again, but it's people like in all the games, like Ray said with Concord and such, these games that just keep flopping because there's no substance. It's a bunch of woke bullshit and gamers are just over it. We're not spending money on it anymore. And if I don't think the people at Rockstar want that to happen to their game. I think their game was ready when they were going to put it out. I think the reason they held it off for a year is to rewrite some stuff and change some stuff in the game to make sure their game comes out ready like a Rockstar game usually is.
Yeah, well, they need it too.
That's my theory.
You know, because I mean, and I know I kind of agree with you because I have that sneaking suspicion about it too as well, right? I mean, because GTA 5, for whether or not anybody likes it or not, that game has had a long life and has made, I mean, so much money for them. I mean, so much money for different content creators and streamers and stuff. I mean, there's still like GTA role playing servers and stuff. I've got friends that do that. That they go into character and they pretend to be the sheriff or whatever. I mean, I can't do anything like that, but they need to get it right. I mean, if they have a disastrous launch, it's just it's going to be sad because they've seen all this stuff.
Man. We've all seen the pictures of like their development team, and then there's a side by side of the current development team, and then the development team of 20 years ago. It is not the same culture there. It's not the same writers. It's not the same people. We're going to get a bunch of girl boss crap, and they're going to throw in just enough to annoy us. But my hope is that they went back to change enough to make the game not completely unplayable.
Yeah.
But it's Rockstar. They've earned some trust. They've been making good stuff for a long time. We'll see. Only time will tell.
Now, so and with all that, with all the gaming space and stuff like that, have you found building a community on Rumble easier than say someplace like YouTube or Twitch? I mean, I do, just from the standpoint to where if I want to come out here and say this right now that there are only two genders. I'm sorry, there's not 15 or 20. There's only two. Men can't have babies. Women can never be men.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I mean, there's a reason why that you see men trying to get into women's sports as a trans, but you don't see women as a trans try to get in men's sports. It can't happen.
Aaron, men do not have a biological advantage over women. But you've been listening for the last 10 years.
So, I can't say that on Twitch. Right, because I will get basically
still the case. I mean, Asmongold says pretty base stuff on a daily basis now.
He does.
Yeah, but he's Asmongold, dude.
He's Asmongold, and he brings in a ton of money. Same thing on YouTube. But I mean, have you found building a community now on Rumble as compared to to YouTube and stuff like much easier since you can be more yourself here?
I don't know if easier is the right word, but it feels worth the effort. I'll say that because at least now. Here's what I love about Rumble. If I fail or succeed, I feel like at least I know it's on me and it's not the platform itself getting in my way. You know what I'm saying? So if I build a community, I feel like the work that goes into that is whatever I get out of that is a direct reflection of my work. I'm not having to overcome the platform to do it. And so the fact that I can be myself, I can curse as much as I want. They treat you like an adult, not like a 5-year-old. It is much more enjoyable for sure. The work, it's fun work. It's a grind, building a community.
100%. Yeah.
Getting people in your chat and then keeping them around and then inviting them to be part of the community and being, good enough for them to want to come back. And then you see them repeat over and over. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work building a community. I've been on here for 3 years and I do have a great community, but it's still pretty small. I probably average, as far as active chatters, anywhere from probably 10 to 20 a day, of people that are just engaging all day. So it's not like I got hundreds of people in there chatting. That took 3 years to get 10 or 15, 20 consistent people coming back, actively in the chat. So it's a lot of work, man, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I know that's part of it for me too. Like I enjoy being in so many different streams all the time. What's up, Gaming on? Oh, dude, thank you so much, man. 10 gifted subs. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. You know what that means, Gaming on Rumble? 1, you're awesome. I appreciate you. 2, we should probably give you a spin on the Not Rigged slot machine. If you want to. If you want to give it to somebody in chat, you totally can. Whenever you guys sub to the channel here, you guys do a random any amount, or if you guys gift any subs, you guys get a spin on the Not Rigged slot machine. And if you win, you get your choice of a streaming setup from nerderdie.com, courtesy of us. So thank you very much, Gaming on Rumble. So you let me know what you want to do. All right. Thank you, man. I seriously appreciate that. But
she misspelled a word there.
That's okay, Ashley. I mean, we could call it a slut machine. Sure. That's fine. We can try it. You want to give it to chat?
What is this? Vapin's mom?
Yeah. Hey, man, my mom, I'll tell you the truth. The stories that come out of my mom's mouth freaking terrify me, dude. Look, I'm just going to throw this out there, chat. Judge me all you want. I'm never sharing a drink with my mom ever again. I don't care.
Oh, boy.
Nothing like that. Why is Ray looking at you like that? I don't know, Ray. Why are you looking at Gaming on Rumble like that?
We got 10 get to subs now. He's stun locked. You got him.
Yeah, I know. It looks like he dropped the call. So.
Oh, he's out. Okay, it's just me and you. Yeah, hey, it looks better though. With 3 people, we'll just. Hey, Ray, why are you so dumb?
Yeah. No. What's that, Ray? Yeah.
Hey, Ray, be quiet if you're gay.
Yeah. Okay. We knew it. We knew it the whole time.
Clip that. You guys saw that.
But, I think, and trying to build a community and stuff like that on Rumble has been very difficult. I have a hard time getting into everybody's chat because I know so many people on the platform, and 2, I try to go around and say hi to everybody. You know what I mean? As much as I can. Do you find that the quality of the interaction and stuff like that on Rumble is better?
Between me and the viewers?
Yeah, like between you and the viewers, like it's more, when people come in and talk, it feels more authentic. Like a lot of times you can go on Twitch, and if anybody has any kind of inclination that you're anything on that platform at all, I mean, I've had them do it to me, like some random name, I just love your stream. You're the best streamer on this platform. It's like, yeah, okay, dude. Okay.
What do you want?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about Rumble, is that because they're not like they don't over moderate their platform. Me being able to say what I want to say, that also includes the viewers. My chatters are very bad, vile people, and they say bad things all the time that even I won't repeat. But we're allowed to do it. We're allowed to have fun. We're allowed to make, the racist jokes and, the homophobic jokes and the sexist jokes and all that stuff. We're, like I said earlier, it's one of the best, I've said this for 3 years since I've been here. It's one of the best compliments I can give Rumble is they treat you like an adult. They don't treat the creators like they're 5 years old. Like they have to protect us from the viewers or vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That drives me crazy. My biggest gripe with YouTube, and I mean, I constantly see it on my X feed all the time, and I'll go in and I'll comment on their thing. It's like, why are you still going to YouTube? And I know, like, we're streaming on YouTube right now. The reason why we're streaming to YouTube right now is because I want you guys on YouTube to come over here and join us on Rumble. Come and be free to be who you want to be, create the content that you want to make, and come find a really good, actual, genuine community that's going to accept you for who you are. But I mean, constantly they're like, I've worked for like 3 or 4 years, and they've got like, 200,000, subscribers or whatever. And then all of a sudden YouTube pulls a plug on them overnight for something in a video that they created, 3 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
You try to get a hold of somebody, you got nothing.
Well, at the very least, you should be multi-streaming.
Yes,
Honestly,
I agree.
The only reason I don't multi-stream, I've tried it a few times over the last couple of years, because every now and then I'll get this bug and I'm like, man, I maybe YouTube has changed. Maybe, maybe something's different, but I'll go over there and I'll try multi-streaming, and it's the same. Dude, I had a 7-hour live stream hit with copyright a few months ago because I'm shit you not, it played 15 seconds of background music in I was reviewing a trailer for some video game. It was just it was like a video, and they were playing some music in the background of and they just copywrote the whole stream. And I'm like, oh, that's why I hate this place. Okay, yeah, I don't want to do this. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's just, I don't like it.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I think, not being able to be yourself, I think is so.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing, man. Whenever I do go to, the few times, like I said, I've went to go stream over there, I start to feel myself switching out words that I wouldn't normally switch out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like the way that makes me feel. It feels icky to, instead of saying fuck, I'll say, what the fudge or something. And I probably should cuss a little bit less anyway. It'd probably have a little bit more appeal to people, but that's not the point. The fact that I, as a 44-year-old man, I have to feel like I have to start switching out words. So Big Daddy YouTube doesn't, I don't know why I did that. Big Daddy YouTube won't, not like it. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
That's I don't like that feeling at all. So I would love to multi-stream. I would love to try to reach a different audience. I feel like there's a lot of people on YouTube. If I could just get my channel in front of them, I feel like I could grow over there very well. But it just feels like such a lost cause over there right now.
Well, I mean, the sad part is that the new CEO of YouTube has even gone on record as saying that they are going to start incorporating more AI creators. So that platform's going to go down even harder. They have
AI slop. Yep.
Yes. And it just boggles, they come out and they say that, and then all of a sudden they have the mass, I don't want to call it exits, but the mass bannings just went on all over the place on YouTube. Yeah. And everybody's posting on there. Well, how did I get kicked off? I'm doing the same content that I've been doing for a long time. Another guy was like a history channel. They removed his channel, and he just covered history, and he talked about historical facts. He talked World War I, World War II. And I'm like, this is important information for humanity to know. Like, if you go over there right now and you watch something say on the Holocaust, it is a historical fact that it did happen. You can see the videos, you can see all that stuff. But yet if you go and watch it on YouTube, they blur it out, they cover it up, they black. And it's like, when you try to rewrite history like that, when you try to cover it up, you're leaving that door open for it to possibly happen again. It's crazy to me.
I had another incident. What's up, Abner? I had another incident on YouTube a while back, which is to put another sour taste in my mouth. So I was thinking getting copyright. I wanted to play music on my stream. So I bought this music, this song on this premiumbeat.com. It's like a pretty well-known website for you can buy copyrighted songs. I bought this music, paid $50 to get the licensing fee for the license to be able to play this on my streams and stuff. I had all the documentation, digital downloads and all that stuff. They hit my stream with copyright, so I appealed it. I sent them all the documentations, and they rejected my appeal and kept it copywritten. Even though I bought this music and I had the legal right to use it, and they said, "Fuck you, we don't care."
Wow.
So I was like, I hate you people so much.
Dude, that is, dude, I'm so sorry that happened.
It's like, that place it's the worst. It really is the worst. I've said this for a while. Technologically speaking, YouTube is incredible. Like, technologically, They have all the bells and whistles. They move at lightning speed. They're incorporating AI into like the comments and stuff, like summarizing. Like, they do so much that it's like, I wish they just treated their platform like a platform and treated their creators. If they treated their creators like Rumble does, dude, I love Rumble, but Rumble would be toast.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, they're too big for their own good. They don't think their shit stinks. And because they have Google to back them up to put them in on everything, they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, they're never going to do that because the people that run that place are leftist lunatics. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But
but so thank God for Rumble. Thank God they do treat us like adults, and they just let us do our thing. And like I said earlier, if we succeed or fail, it's because we suck or don't suck. So
yep. Yeah, I know. So how do you, with all that, building up the community and so forth, the other kind of thing that I wanted to talk to you about too was brand building. Because, the great thing about Fox, you guys, like literally he is exactly who he says he is. I was able to hang out with him at DreamHack for a little bit. And of course, when you're hanging out with him personally, he's a little bit differently than he is when he's on camera.
What do you mean?
You're just quieter when and you said that all the time. You're like, look, I don't know what you guys are expecting, but most of the time when I'm there in person, I'm quiet.
He is very shy quiet person, and like I have a lot of confidence when I'm in my own office. Well, I can control everything. Mm-hmm. When I get around strangers, I get very quiet.
I do. It kind of depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then once I start talking, I just talk their freaking ear off usually, and it's wild because like right now, I know I'm pretty sure we've been featured by Rumble. Thank you, Rumble, for featuring us because we're up at 226 viewers right now. We're at 1 on YouTube. YouTube, come on over to Rumble. It's better here. I'm just saying. Just saying for, the 2 or 3 people that'll watch this later too. I appreciate you guys. I do, but come over to Rumble. It's better here. But be that as it may, it's kind of wild to think about, like, if you were looking out at 224 people right now that are watching us right now, it would be a terrifying experience for me. But because I'm behind the camera and it's just kind of some numbers, and people like talking in chat, not to say you guys aren't real people or anything, but I feel a lot more comfortable doing it this way rather than in front of a bunch of people. And since you're kind of that way, how has that kind of affected you with like your branding, and how did you kind of overcome that to kind of be the streamer that you are?
Well, first of all, let me say, I think my weak spot is my branding. I don't really, I'll be honest, man, there's some people that are really good at branding stuff. I know I talk about him way too much at this point, but he's my boy Grim. He's good at that stuff. He's good at putting a brand with like the Brat Pack. He's good at like branding the things that he does. I'm not the right person to talk about branding. I mean, I don't know how to make merch. Like, I made this. I've sold one to myself. And
just to let everybody know too, that daddy dipshit thing he's got around his neck is truly gold and diamond studded. I'm just throwing that out there.
This cost $200,000.
I saw it live.
I mortgaged my house for it.
I saw it live. I almost went to touch it, but I figured he'd kill me. So,
but anyways, so I'm sorry. Ask that question one more time, Aaron.
No, like, how do you find, the ability to kind of come out and to be a little bit more open and to kind of build your brand? We're talking about building a brand.
I will say this: branding is one thing that I guess I don't really think of it as branding. I just try to think, okay, how can I? For me, when I think of branding, I think of needing a vision and needing something like an end point that I'm trying to get to. And one thing this year that I really wanted to focus on was, I guess my version of branding myself is trying to cultivate the type of community that I envision. And so, and I know this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'll get there. So what I'm trying to say is I don't want to just throw stuff at the wall and hope something sticks. So one thing I've really been trying to focus on this year is thinking, okay, what kind of stream or what kind of vibe would I want to hang out in? And I started thinking about, when I was younger, me and my cousins or me and my brothers would be up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning playing Call of Duty or playing 007, back in the day, and just that hangout with you and your cousins or your brothers, and we're talking shit, we're making fun of each other, we're drinking Mountain Dew, just being boys. And so I've really thought about that. And I'm like, okay, so if that's the kind of place I would want to hang out in, then that's the kind of environment that I want to try to cultivate for my own community. And so that's kind of my brand, is trying to cultivate a community where guys want to come out and feel like, as much as you can, it's online, where you're hanging out with your boys and we're playing video games and stuff. Now it's kind of backfired because now they just call me gay all day. But it's fun, like they make fun of me. I pretend to get mad about it, and we have this rapport and we have these inside jokes now. So that's kind of where my branding has I just realized I do this too much. That's where my branding is now, where I'm so focused on my community, because I'm like, look, I feel like, and this is just a personal opinion, I think some people that have no business trying to go after sponsors they're going after sponsors before they have anything to offer these brands. Yeah. And people are just so obsessed with putting little logos on their stream. Oh, we have this and I have this energy drink. I'm like, but you don't have anybody watching. And I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but there's nobody watching. You're not selling, like, I don't know. I guess I'm really invested in building this thing from the ground up. And then one day, if the right brand comes along, and if I've earned it, where I'm actually make money doing it, and it makes sense because it's something I would actually use, then I'll do it. I feel like too many people just want to throw brands at the wall, and they want to email every little brand. They want to get their little, their name next to this logo, and they think that makes them look a little bit more important than they really are. But it's all fake. And I'm so allergic to fake that, Yeah.
Well, I think
I don't know if I answered your question at all, but
no, you did. I mean, it's kind of like, because all of us as creators, when we start out, we got to figure out why we're doing it. Mm-hmm. What makes us go live, every single time. For me, it's I love the interaction and talking to people. That's why, for example, like whenever I'm in your stream or if I'm in anybody's stream, if there's like nobody talking, I'm going to be the one talking.
Yeah.
I try to keep chat alive. Why? Because I know that other people that are watching, hopefully it'll bring them out to chat too as well. But I enjoy the interaction.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. Same thing why I stream, and I'm doing this right now. I mean, it's great to see, Elijah Fire in chat right now. Ashley Kate is hanging out. She wanted some, hey, notice me. I notice you, Ashley. Welcome in. We got GI Jesus in here. We've got Abner in here who tooted and farted up and stunk up the place. We got Global Gamer who's my, ride or die right-hand man. And Smoke and Fire TV, all you beautiful, amazing people. I enjoy talking to people. There's just something about being able to go and hang out and talk to other people that have your like-minded passion, your like-minded kind of ideals and stuff like that. And I think that's really, for me at least, being on Rumble and being a cranny here has made it absolutely just wonderful. Yeah. For you, it feels like, you have grinded like so hard. What do you think has probably been the hardest thing for you to kind of overcome in your streaming journey?
I have an easy answer for that. It's not caring about the numbers. Caring. I actually came up with this. I'm not saying it was an original thought, but it was just something I thought about a couple of years ago. Which is the problem. The problem with measuring your success by the amount of something that you have is that there's always a bigger number.
Yes.
There's always a bigger number. And so in that last 6 months that I was on YouTube, what's up, True Survivor? Oh, sorry, I forgot that's not my chat.
You're totally fine.
I'm so used
to
You
can talk away.
Okay. I hate to go back and whine about YouTube a little bit, but whenever I was on YouTube, because of like I said, all the demonetization and all that, I started to get really bummed out about the numbers. Then I became obsessed with, my numbers are dropping and that they cut me off, blah 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 blah. So when I came to Rumble, I had to kind of get over that, and I still have days where, like, dude, it's crazy. There's some days where my chat is, kind of regular, it's a pretty decent pace. And then I'll get off the stream and the numbers, okay, that was pretty good numbers. And then there's some days where I'm like, what's going on? Like, my chat is just, there's so much energy. And then I'll end the stream and I'll have like way less views than a day where I felt like I had, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But on those days, those streams are better because I'm like, man, there's so much energy behind it. That's what makes it fun though. Like when people are chatting, when people are engaged and you feel like, man, you're kind of doing it, it's, and they're not, and no offense to people that have streamers hanging out in their chat, but it means a little bit more when there's that person's in there for you and they're not in there because they're a streamer and they want people to see their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of people out there that are like that. I think, I mean, for me, probably the hardest thing that I've had to kind of get over there, you tend to play a lot of mental games with yourself. And I think for all of us, if we're being honest, that's, I think we all kind of struggle with mental games to some aspect, or like, am I good enough? What the heck am I doing? Did I like totally screw it up?
Yeah.
Look at what somebody else is doing. I'm doing the same thing. Why am I not doing it?
Yeah.
Do you find that, how do you kind of bring yourself back from, that kind of a mental struggle?
This is going to sound kind of hippie, but well, before I answer that, can I go back and talk about the numbers thing just for a second?
Yeah, sure. 100%.
I kind of sidetracked myself there. One thing I realized, and one thing that kind of helped me is to really, what I started doing now is when I end my stream, I don't immediately go look how many views I had, because that's when I'm going to care the most. So when I end my stream, because when I'm streaming, and I don't like it when people tell me that I'm editor's picks, and I don't get mad about it, but I just prefer if they didn't, because anything with a number on it, I close down. I just have my chat in, OBS and stuff. So I'm looking at, and I'm putting all my energy into the community, into the game I'm playing, and let the chips fall where they may. So learning to not give a crap about the numbers, Oh, dude, I got so sidetracked. Now I can't remember my original point.
That's okay. You know what happens, dude? After you turn 40, it happens.
Dude,
But all of you young bucks out there that are watching chat right now, you just wait till you hit 40. I'm telling you guys right now, things fucking change.
Dude,
you know, never trust a fart and never waste a heart on. If you know,
I'll tell you something that's changed for me in my 40s. This is disgusting, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'll go to the bathroom in the morning. I'll sit down. I'll go number 2. I'll go number 1, and then I'll go number 1, and then I have to lean over to my side to go number 1 some more. I guess something's getting out of the way. It's allowing more pee to go through. I'll stand up. I'll finish everything. I'll stand up, and I have to go pee one more time.
Yep. Yep.
I pee 3 times when I go to the bathroom once.
Yep. That's what happens when you guys get over 40.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. I mean, mine started mid 40s, but yes. And then of course I have to wear reading glasses now too as well, which I never had to wear reading glasses before. But it's just weird. Anyway, old man problems, right? Old man problems.
Ask me that question one more time, Aaron, because I do want to answer your question properly.
With all the different mental games that we do play with ourselves, because all of us do one way or another, especially when you're streaming. What do you find that kind of helps you to kind of bring you back to the basically to be centered, to be kind of more balanced in your thinking?
Okay, yeah. And this is where I said that this is going to make me sound like a hippie, but it's being grateful for your actual life. You know, I realized that the less I cared about the numbers and the more when I got off stream, I turn around, I have dogs, I have chickens, I have a wife, I have kids. I have all these things that actually matter. And, you know, I think people make streaming and make, you know, trying to be famous. They make that their whole identity. And they lose all ability to be grateful for anything because all their self-worth comes from a number going up. And that will be you'll just keep chasing that until the day you die. If that's where you're at. Look, it doesn't mean you shouldn't put all your effort into it. It doesn't mean you shouldn't care about the product you put out. You should work hard at it. You should really try to be good at it. But you have to have something else going on in your life because the online world is fake and gay. And most of the people that you're jealous of are view botting. Yep. Most of the people that you're jealous of are not who you think they are. They're view botting and they're losers. So it doesn't mean everybody that's successful is, but a lot of it is. There's so many people that are faking it. There's so many people that are, there's just so much crap going on behind the scenes, man. And, you know, people tell me a lot of stuff and, you know, and I don't air any of that stuff out. You know, I keep all that stuff private because I'm not in the drama business. But just, I've learned enough to know that you just got to stay in your lane, be grateful for what you have, and really work hard to not let the numbers affect you.
Yeah, and I think that's well said. You know, I'm not shocked, but I am surprised at the level of view botting that has been exposed for over the last 6 months. It's been kind of crazy. But to answer your question, Smoke and Fire, about uploading your music. Not right now, but we can talk about that off stream. 100%. Just DM me. We'll work something. We can try to work something out. Because we're not against community submission music. We're just very picky about it. We just don't want to necessarily throw up a bunch of garbage and robot music, and then kind of go in there and it's freaking terrible stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not to say your stuff is terrible, but
yeah, you stole my joke. I was gonna say, you hear that, Smoke? He called your music garbage.
I don't do that, dude, because I'm interviewing SilverFox. You know, he's quick-witted, so just like the fox. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think that that the whole thing with them exposing all this stuff with the view, especially on Kick, I was really shocked that the president or whoever the guy is on Kick, the main guy, that he just like, man, who cares, kind of a deal. Like they don't even care.
Well, and listen, I think if you I don't know, you probably know more than I do. If Rumble has even those kind of systems in place to detect that stuff,
they do.
I got to imagine. Here's the problem. I think places like Kick and Rumble are in. They would probably love to shut it all down, but they also kind of need. They kind of like for it to look like there's more views than they are because they're both kind of trying to grow and take space from YouTube. And look, I don't want to say like everybody does it anyway, but I don't know. I don't know if Rumble has that as a priority or not.
I know they do. I mean, I've reported some stuff to them, and they've acted on some stuff. And I know they're watching. You know, even like right now in chat, I'm sure somebody from Rumble is probably out there somewhere. You know, I appreciate gaming on Rumble 100%. You know, everybody that I've met that works at Rumble is genuine. They're real, and they're trying to do what they can for all of us as creators as best they can. Are they human? Absolutely. Of course, because they drop the ball on a lot of things. We still love them though. They're definitely not YouTube or Twitch. You know, it's funny because I forgot who it was that I read on X. Someone posted about the fact Twitch, everybody talks about Twitch, and Twitch is like they're big and all this other stuff. It's like, but you know, the funny part about it is that Twitch is one of the only platforms that they have brainwashed creators into telling them to go to another platform like YouTube where there's more discoverability, get those people to follow them over onto Twitch. And then when those people support them on Twitch, they take 50% of that money.
Not only that, I just learned this. I learned this like yesterday that when you're on Twitch, you're not allowed to, what's the word?
Multi-chat?
Yeah, but what there's like a something.
You're doing like co-stream?
Well, there's a word for whenever you there's like a technical word for anyways. They're not allowed to put the chats together. You can't have other chats show up on your. That's like, what are they doing? Like that's so petty.
Well, dude, like, you know, be thankful because even now they finally allow you to dual stream.
Yeah, that's insane.
But before, when I became a first partner over there, you could not do that. If you were going to be streaming, you had to do your stream had to be on Twitch. Had to be for Twitch only. After 24 hours, then you could put it somewhere else. If you wanted to stream somewhere else, then you'd have to stop. You couldn't stream on Twitch at all. It just so freaking backwards. Yeah. You know, so backwards. So I'm glad to see them kind of failing.
Yeah, I think I created an account on Twitch maybe a couple years ago. I tried multi-streaming there, maybe like one time or so. I don't even remember if I actually even went live over there. But I don't know. I have no emotional connection to Twitch. I have nothing.
Yep.
That place does not appeal to me whatsoever. Yeah,
Twitch is kind of its own kind of like weird kind of platform. You know, do I miss it? Not really. You know, some of the friends that I did make there, I'm no longer friends with anymore. I'm sure because of the political thing. Like for me, I created a video that's out on X. You guys can find it there if that's what you want to do. When the first assassination attempt of Trump almost took him out. Right, hit his ear. I freaking lit a fire in me. I freaking went on Twitch, on X, and I blamed all the liberals for it because of all the rhetoric that they're fucking pouring out of their mouth, which is bullshit. You know, you cannot like Trump. That's fine. But the stuff that you guys are, you know, that they were saying about him, about what he was trying to do and all this other kind of stuff was just blatant lies. And so, of course, you're going to have some mental lunatic on the left that decides to pull out a gun and try to take him out because they think he's the next Hitler.
But not only that, man, it's like,
good night.
You know, and I don't know if we want to take a hard turn to politics, but if you're in a headspace that allows you to hope and wish that another human being gets their head blown off for political reasons,
yes,
you need to go pick up the freaking Bible and start thinking.
Yes, 100%, dude.
I mean, come on, dude. Like I haven't liked a Democrat president since Bill Clinton. This is before I knew he was a rapist. So I haven't liked
Epstein.
I haven't liked back when I was young and didn't know any better. Like I, like a lot of young people, thought Bill Clinton was awesome and we had a surplus and everything was great. I didn't know about the Clintons back then. But anyway, the point is, even since then, with the Obamas and you know, and the Hillarys running for president, I never liked him, but it never once crossed my mind to think, oh, I wish this person would die.
Yeah.
I mean, like that side, it's like they've lost their humanity. Yes. It's batshit crazy, man.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, I mean, even like, you know, them, you know, cutting off ties with their own family. Like some people that work in the gaming industry, community managers and stuff like that, went on and bragged on X. I saw that, how great that he couldn't be dad. You know, he told his dad that he couldn't be, you know, his son anymore, and he disowned his family because his dad was supporting Trump and stuff. I'm like, are you guys like, you know, but yet Trump's the fascist and all this. And it's like, do you guys not hear what you guys are saying?
Yeah, Trump is so fascist that you're online calling him a fascist.
Exactly. And then, you're excommunicating your own family, the same thing they did in Nazi Germany. I mean, you can go down the list, right? I mean, it's fucking crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me.
Yeah, I have my oldest daughter. She's 22. She's a young female liberal. And me and she'll call me sometimes, or we'll talk, and we'll be talking about ICE and whatever. She's one of those people. She's one of those young girls she's liberal, but she's like, her heart is in the right place, and she's just a young female, and they're kind of liberal when they're that age. But we can talk about it, and we can like have these conversations, and she's extremely smart. I mean, look at who her dad is, obviously. But we have these conversations, and and we don't agree on everything, and but she's like. But she's also a mom. She's pregnant with her second child now. She's married. She's not, she's just a regular girl. Just happened to be more, in the liberal mindset. And we have these conversations. And so my only point is that there's, I think on the right we do have this misconception because of social media that if you're a liberal, you're just this lunatic nut job who wants trans kids and all that. But my daughter, her first child was a girl. Dresses her girl in girl clothes. She has a girl name. She's you know what I mean? Like she's not all these people are insane, but the ones that we see online are definitely insane because that's the one that they want us to see online. And then, obviously if you go to a bigger city, more of them are insane. So I don't know what my point is right now.
That's okay. Well, we're just talking about politics, right? And I'm sorry to kind of go off on that, you guys, everybody, because I do happen to enjoy
next topic
politics.
Is boobs, so stick around.
Yes. Yeah. But like, and just last thing I'll say about it, kind of just how crazy everything is, especially with the media, ladies and gentlemen, with everything, including with, streaming media, gaming media, regular media. It's all smoke and mirrors. All of it is. I mean, I saw a video of, and I can't remember which report it was. I think it was for the New York Times or something. Asked the press secretary right now, she's like, can you please, he was like, can you please, he had a question. He was like, when does the president think that he was actually called a racist? Implying that the media never called him a racist, like at all. And she's like, are you serious right now? And then they went back and showed all the times that all of them on media and those on the left were calling him a racist president and racist. And it's like,
yeah, these people are insane.
Yes. And like camera is going to drive me freaking crazy. RUM-Bot, I love your cameras, but it turns itself into, it wants to track on its own like all the time. And I don't appreciate it. AI. Thank you.
My favorite part about all the like legacy media and these politicians, for some reason, they still live in this fantasy world. Like we don't have access to the internet.
Yes. They
live in this fantasy world. Like, they'll literally say something last week. And then this week they'll look right at the camera and say, I never said that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, dude, Pelosi, that worked back in the 80s when no one had the internet or no way of really fact checking you. But, we can now I will say with AI now, dude, AI is getting scary, Aaron.
Oh, 100%, dude. Think about it. Just 2-3 years ago, that infamous Will Smith video came of him eating spaghetti, freaking all like sloppy and stuff.
Yeah, it was a joke. Yep.
Yeah, and now it's like you can literally create a whole entire movie in like 35-40 minutes. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
For our kids and stuff like that and our grandkids.
Well, that side of it is interesting to think about, like how Hollywood or how movies are going to get made. Obviously that will change, and it'd be interesting to see how that affects that community or that industry. But what really worries me is how it's going to be weaponized for politics and things like that. Maybe they'll do things like show images of the other candidate doing terrible things, or and at some point it's going to be like right now, even the good AI, you can be like, okay, I think that's still kind of AI.
You can kind of tell.
Kind of tell, but dude, it's getting close, man. In 10 years, you're not going to be able to tell. You're not going to be able to tell, and they're going to be able to. The propaganda that they're going to be able to use with it, I don't know how that's going to play out.
Yeah, I do. To be honest with you, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, it's crazy to me, and we're going to bring in Epstein into this. And I know this has nothing to do with streaming chat. I know, but at the same time, You have all this stuff being released from the Epstein files, which is absolutely grotesque, you guys. 100%. The very, very small fraction that I've even seen of it, and then I've read of it, is absolutely disgusting. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't. And the fact that everybody's not up in arms about it, and mass people are not going to jail over what the fuck these people did, is an absolute crime against humanity. 100%. You know.
Well, and hey, I don't know if you heard this or not. You gotta let it go, Aaron, because the Dow Jones is up to 50.
Yeah, no, I heard about that too. And I'm like, how about no?
Yeah,
how about no?
Yeah. I don't know why everybody's pissed about Epstein. The stock market's at an all-time high.
Yeah, well, yeah. That means dick. You know what I mean? But it just kind of goes to show that, you know, I kind of wonder about that with like AI and us. Is anybody going to care at that time? Like same thing with content creation. Do you think that on the content creation side, as AI starts kind of rolling out, do you think people are going to be able to tell the difference between like an AI creator? And two, are they going to care?
Movies, or are we talking about like what we do?
Well, like what we do. Because I mean, technically you could program the AI to read chat and then just, you know, mimic like they're talking to chat. They would just be really good because they could read every little thing.
Yeah. I think what's going to end up happening is that will happen. And then you'll have these mega corporations who can pay
capitalize
people.
On it, yeah.
You can pay people to kind of pump out these AI creators and make them look as good as you want, or however you want, whatever skin color, whatever personality. And like you said, it's not that too far of a step to have them be able to react to chat and do all that stuff. But what I think that what's going to come out of that, I hope, is that there'll be a premium on people that are real people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you can have like AI music, but then when you know someone made something that came from the heart, real people are going to yearn for that more and more as things get faker and faker. I hope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also and I want to find where to get this technology, because I thought it'd be kind of a fun experiment to do. I know like you used AI and you were doing the whole podcast with AI for a little while, which I thought was brilliant, mind you. I thought it was great. A great test.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, man, don't ever bring that up again.
Well, it was a lot of fun actually, but the problem is you start realizing it was a good concept, but you start realizing right away that you can't really. So just let you guys know what he's talking about. I started this like little thing on my channel where I was going to talk to Grok AI. It was going to be called Fox AI, and I was going to be like a little talk show where I'd have these long conversations with AI. Well, what I found was that AI to right now just kind of affirms what you're saying and you can't really have a actual conversation with it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of predictable, and it just kind of affirms whatever you say. And it's not really that intuitive as good as it is. It's not like talking to a human being, and you can't really get them to disagree with you that much. But even like disagree in a genuine way where it's like another human being that gives you a different perspective and gives you something to think about, and you bounce that. That's what I was looking for. So I just ended up going, because Grok, you can change it to like a 18 plus version. I ended up just changing it to that, and I was talking to her like a hussy, and we had a good time with that. But
only on Rumble, right? But you know,
and she'll say some nasty stuff. By the way, Grok, the Grok AI.
Well, it
was fun, but
it doesn't surprise me because they also have software that they've created, and I'm not sure where these people are getting it from, but they'll put videos on X about it. You can watch it where they're literally just reskinning themselves as like celebrities and talking, and it's real time. Everything on them looks like the person or the celebrity, whatever sex, also vocals, everything matches.
Yep.
There was a guy in Korea that got busted not too long ago, I think about a year ago, where he was doing that. He came on that he acted like he was, a woman and stuff like that. And of course, the filter failed. Another older lady too, as well. She did the same thing. She was using it to make herself look like she was 21. She was really like 62.
Wow.
And so her filter failed. It was just shut them down. They couldn't come back after that. So
no. You're cooked after that. Holy cow.
Yes. I mean,
that would be my worst nightmare. Imagine you're you or me, and we're sitting there acting like this 25-year-old female smoke show with the audio overlay and everything's and that fails, and they're just me like.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'm still terrified that one of these days I'm going to accidentally press go live, and I'm going to be like in my underwear or something, like drinking coffee, and my beard's going to be all like this because I just got up out of bed. And
dude, every now and then after my stream's over, my wife will come in. I'm like, okay, let me make sure that's off. That's off.
That's right.
Like, just don't move. Let me get all this stuff off.
Yeah, but okay. So, I mean, I really do appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us tonight and to kind of talking about, your journey and your streaming experience. If there are any new kind of content creators, to content creation in general and to Rumble platform in specific, what kind of, advice would Fox give on them starting out and kind of diving into the Rumble community?
Well, I'll tell you what I wish I would have been more focused on whenever I first started, because I'm no expert, but one thing that I have thought about this, one thing that I wish I would have done at the beginning was you should start, but take some time and really think about deeply what your vision is. Like, have an actual vision and make it nothing to do with numbers. Like, whether it's what type of community you want to foster, what kind of games you want to play, what kind of vibe you want to have, when people come to your chat, have a vision for that. So when you start, cut through all the BS and then just focus on what you're trying to achieve. And don't let low numbers distract you. Don't let negativity distract you. Just have something in mind that you're trying to accomplish and just stay laser focused on it. Cut all the BS out. Now, one more piece of advice and this is what I tell everybody. Before I started streaming, I was looking into, I was watching like videos on YouTube about like tips for new, like beginners. Mm-hmm. This is before I started even on YouTube. And I came across this video, and I think about this all the time. He said, whenever you're streaming, always pretend like you have a ton of people watching. Now, I gave myself the number of 10,000 because that just a number didn't sound ridiculous. I always pretend in my head, I always pretend in my head that I have 10,000 people watching.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I close all the things with numbers showing how many people are watching. I close all that stuff out. I minimize all those windows, and I always try to give the energy that I have 10,000 people watching. And there's a very specific reason for that, because whenever somebody, think about this, if anybody's watching, whenever somebody comes to your stream, and let's say you're a new streamer, or maybe you haven't been going for very long, and so you have no chatters, they come into your stream and this is the first thing they see. Like nothing, like, because people's original, what am I trying to say? Like your gut instinct, if there's nobody in your chat, you feel silly just talking to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what happens is somebody comes into your channel and you're not talking. There's no energy. Dude, you got like 2 seconds and they're out.
Mm-hmm.
So pretend like there's people watching. Now you don't have to have a pretend conversation with somebody that's not there, but just, if you're playing Call of Duty, talk about what you're doing. Oh, I'm running up the hill. Oh, I'm chasing the guy around the corner. Pretend, like, engage in what you're doing. Give the energy that you have a bunch of people watching, because what will happen is someone will come into your stream, even if it's one person, it has to start somewhere. Someone will come into your stream. Oh, this guy has a little bit of energy. So you'll stick around for a few more seconds, and that few extra seconds may get them to say hi, or that may get them to, and then when you get them, then you say hi back, and then you start a conversation with them. And it's not a magic pill. Like, if you start doing that, you're not gonna just blow up probably, but it's like, you got to give that type of energy, that there is energy on your stream, and try to sustain that and focus on that for the whole stream. And I even fail sometimes. Sometimes I'm a little burnt out, I'm tired, and I'm lethargic on stream. But I really try to remind myself all the time, okay, there's 10,000 people watching, give them a show. And I just keep that energy going from start to finish as much as I can.
Yeah, it's wild because, of course, either that or you're on doing the gummy. Have your gummy, and then, Fox's
I've tried to stop doing that. I've tried to stop doing that, because what happens about 75% of the time, when I take an edible on stream, I turn into a zombie. And And that's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, it's always funny because then you get in something, you're getting like so many, you're like, I don't get it. It is like, well, because Fox, you just, you've taken an edible, bro. But it's okay. Yeah. Well, if we have some fun poking at you.
If I play a puzzle game, I take an edible. It's a nightmare.
But yeah, I mean, those are fantastic wise words from the Fox. And I would also throw it out there too, that if you guys are new, it does not hurt to go in and actually invest some time in other communities' chats. And what I mean by that is not just going to be like, hey, my name's Blair and I'm a streamer. That's a quick way to get you banned. If you go in there, just hang out, be like a real person, eventually it'll come out. And then you can talk about it. I mean, I'm open with people saying that when they come in, once I know them. I mean, you can't just come into my stream and be like, hey, I'm a streamer, come and follow my channel. Or, hey, I'm live right now. At least buy me dinner before you try to take advantage of me. You know what I'm saying? Drop like $5. Yeah. $5, then you can promo yourself. Fine, all day long.
Yeah. So look, I'm pretty good at, every now and then during my stream, if I notice there's a couple streamers in there, I'll say, hey, make sure you're following these guys. And I don't know if that's moving the needle for anyone, but the point is, I do like to help people out. But when, like Vapen said, when you come in and you're like, hey, I'm a new streamer here, in this and that, then I know exactly what you're there to do. I know you're not going to invest any time actually trying to be a part of anything. You're literally just trying to get your channel out there. I ban those guys immediately. Yeah, I never see them again.
So I mean, it's funny because there's a guy that was going off about being on Rumble, and he's like, I'm not getting any views, and I'm like, go hang out with some people's streams. We're a different breed here.
Yeah.
I mean, so next 2 or 3 times, there's still not anybody coming. I'm like, dude, I've offered to sit down with you, walk through you guys how Rumble works, and then how to do it, and you'll be successful on Rumble. But he doesn't want to take the time, so I'm not even going to bother anymore. You just scream into the void. Go ahead. That's fine.
Look, man, I've been doing this for 3 years on Rumble now, and I'm, I don't know, I average hover somewhere around 40 or so, 40 or 50 if I'm lucky on a good day. It's like, it's a lot, like, and people think that I have a big community, and for as much work as I put into it, streaming every day and really being engaging, I don't say that's all I have in a bad way, but this is what I have to show for it. So if you think you're going to come to a platform and all of a sudden just have a little thriving community, it's like, dude, that's not how it works. Get your ass out there and show up every day and stop freaking begging for something people can't give you. You're going to have to work for it. There's no shortcuts.
Yep. And just to throw that out there, because I know the one guy said that to me the one time, and I'm always going to remember it for the rest of my life. If you are a streamer, and if you do become successful, it does not mean you're going to make a bunch of money. And it does not mean you're going to have a bunch of beautiful women dancing, beating down your door. It's like, one guy was like, dude, I can't wait to be like you. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, popular and stuff because, then I'll get all the women and money. I'm like, you're out of your mind, dude. I'm like, I'm not getting any of that. I must be getting ripped off somewhere. I mean, I just, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't have any women in my DMs. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, dude. I mean, but it's probably a good thing. I don't ever want to be put in that kind of weird position anyway. So please stay out of it.
Can I give one more piece of advice before you kick me out of here?
Sure.
Okay. This is for the men especially. Always, and this is one thing, I've seen too many creators have these moments in their career where stuff starts getting exposed, like DMs from the past and all that. One thing I told myself a few years ago is don't ever DM somebody something. Here's what it is. Always assume that anything that you DM somebody will eventually come out. Always assume that. And don't ever take a chance and start DMing girls and start being all weird and flirty, because eventually that shit comes out.
Oh yeah. Then I'll bite you in the butt 100%. Everything that's on the internet stays forever, dude. I don't care what anybody tells you. You know what I mean? But again, Fox, thank you so much. You guys, all of his links are down below. If you guys have never seen SilverFox, I encourage you guys to go and check him out. He's live. You're still going live, Monday through Friday, right?
Yeah, I start at 10 a.m. Central.
Okay. Make sure you guys go and throw him a follow. Any other last parting words of wisdom that you want to give here before we get going?
Only that I appreciate the invite here, and I met you at DreamHack, and you seem like a genuine guy, and I appreciate you, Aaron. I appreciate all the effort that you put into things like the RUM-Bot and just being nice to people and just being a down to earth guy. You know, I think this industry could use more of that, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate that. You know, I put my pants on one leg at a time like everybody else. At least I hope, anyway. You know.
Yeah.
So anyway, you guys have yourself a good night. Hopefully you're hanging around, Fox, because I'm going to show you something after stream if you're up for it.
Yep, I'm going to hang around.
I want to get his opinion because I appreciate this, man. So make sure you guys go look down below, throw him a follow, go say hi, and we'll see you guys again. I think maybe this next Saturday, maybe not. Don't forget Steam Next Fest next week right here. We're doing a special RUM-Bot indie game showcase for 3 days, 26th, 27th, 28th. Go to the hub, check it out. Ton of different games there, and we'll see you around. All right, everybody. Bye. Bye.